The movie begins by showing events from the past. A woman tells a man that she has created a powerful virus with incredible abilities. This virus can even heal disabled people and help them fully recover. Soon, a scientist wearing sunglasses approaches Tony and tells him that their company is about to conduct a groundbreaking experiment using advanced technology. He invites Tony to join the project, saying he admires him greatly. However, Tony declines the offer and leaves. It's revealed that Tony is struggling with mental health issues caused by past events. He often recalls a time when the city was attacked by Iron Man soldiers, and he couldn't stop it. This memory haunts him, making him feel unwell. Despite this, his friend encourages him to stay strong. Worried about future attacks, Tony decides to build a team of Iron Men, which he names Iron Legend. Later, attacks begin happening across the country, orchestrated by a villain named Mandarin. Tony's bodyguard is also caught in one of these attacks and is badly injured. Angry and determined, Tony publicly declares at a press conference that he will stop Mandarin at any cost. This provokes Mandarin, who targets Tony's house, completely destroying it. Tony manages to rescue the woman who created the virus and escapes in his Iron Man suit. However, the suit malfunctions, and he crash lands in a snowy area far from his destination. Although damaged, the suit still has enough power for Tony to eventually return. Meanwhile, people believe Tony has died in the attack on his house since he hasn't been seen. In the snowy village where he crash landed, Tony meets a young boy and befriends him. He soon discovers that the village has been destroyed in a similar way to his house, confirming that Mandarin is behind these attacks. Tony begins investigating and learns that no traditional weapons were used in the explosions. Instead, the attacks were carried out by Iron Man soldiers with superpowers. With the boy's help, Tony tracks down Mandarin's supposed location, but it turns out to be a hoax. The man there was only pretending to be Mandarin and had been filming fake videos. During this time, the scientist who had invited Tony earlier reappears. It's revealed that he isn't who he claimed to be. His glasses and appearance were fake. The scientist tells Tony that he used the virus to make himself stronger and healthier. He also reveals that he has kidnapped Tony's assistant and shows him her picture to taunt him. It turns out that the woman who created the virus had been secretly working for the scientist all along. When the scientist discovers that she met with Tony, he kills her. The story sets the stage for Tony's final confrontation with the scientist and Mandarin, as he fights to save his assistant and stop the chaos. The scientist had been using advanced technology, making it impossible for anyone to track him. Among his tools was a powerful weapon of war, the same Iron Man suit Tony had once worn but renamed by the scientist to hide its origin. The scientist brought this suit to Tony, but Tony escaped using his intelligence and strength. His goal was to find Mandarin's location and stop him. Along the way, Tony discovered the scientist's plan to use the suit to assassinate the US president. Tony knew he had to stop this plan at any cost. The scientist kidnapped the president and took him to a secret location, far from anyone's reach, while he prepared to broadcast the president's death live to the world. His goal was to gain fame and instill fear. Surprisingly, the vice president had secretly helped the scientist, motivated by envy and personal gain. His daughter, who was disabled, was being cured by the extremis virus created by the scientist. Guided by the young boy and using his wits, Tony found the scientist's hideout near a seaside location. He and his friend devised a plan. Tony would rescue his assistant, while his friend would save the president. A fierce battle ensued between Tony and the scientist, both wearing Iron Man suits. Tony's friend successfully rescued the president, securing him in an Iron Man suit and sending him to safety. Meanwhile, Tony saved his assistant, but she fell into a fire. Luckily, the extremis virus had been injected into her, making her immune to the flames. Tony then faced the scientist again. Realizing that his attacks and even his Iron Man army couldn't stop the scientist, Tony came up with a clever plan. He tricked the scientist into wearing an Iron Man suit designed to self-destruct. The suit exploded, but the scientist, enhanced by the extremis virus, survived despite being badly burned. Just then, Tony's assistant arrived and killed the scientist, ending his reign of terror. She and Tony shared an emotional moment, realizing their affection for each other. Tony then commanded his Iron Man soldiers to self-destruct, creating a stunning display of fireworks in the sky. In the aftermath, the police arrested the fake Mandarin and the vice president. Tony's bravery and genius were celebrated worldwide. Surgeons removed the metal fragments from Tony's body, freeing him from his dependence on the arc reactor or Iron Man suits for survival. In a symbolic gesture, Tony threw the arc reactor into the sea. With his assistant fully recovered, the movie concluded on a positive note. It left the audience with a sense of hope and closure.